So, when you think of Washington, D.C., you're probably picturing the big stuff, right? The monuments, the museums, all those corridors of power. But just beneath all that marble and pavement, there's this constant, unseen battle being fought just to keep the city from falling apart. Okay, let's dive into this hidden world. So, what is it? What's this invisible system? Well, the answer is literally right under our feet, in a super complex and frankly really old network of pipes. This is the story of the wild challenges facing the plumbing of the nation's capital, a system that's under constant pressure from pretty much every side. So here's what we're going to cover today. First, we'll go beneath the city streets. Then we'll look at the perfect storm of problems DC is up against, how those problems actually show up in your house, the cool new tech they're using to fight back, and finally, why this is a battle that, well, never really ends. All right, let's start by going underground. Because it's down here, totally out of sight, that the city's real lifelines are under this incredible constant stress. You see, DC isn't like a lot of other cities. Its unique history, the actual ground it's built on, and its wild climate all come together to create a really, really harsh environment for its plumbing. We're going to unpack exactly why this place is so tough on the pipes that serve every single home and building. Now, what's so fascinating about this is that it's not just one thing going wrong. Nope. It's a combination of four huge factors, four main culprits that all work together to create what you could basically call a perfect plumbing storm. And here they are, our four aggressors. You've got the very ground the city is built on, the old school materials used to build it, those crazy weather swings, and the aging public water system that kind of connects the whole shebang. Let's break each one of these down. First up, the ground itself. Washington, D.C. is built on clay soil. And what does clay do? Well, when it gets wet, it swells up, and when it dries out, it shrinks. This constant shifting puts a ton of stress on any pipes buried in it. And even worse, it creates these tiny cracks and openings that are like a personal invitation for tree roots to wiggle in, looking for water. Second, you can't ignore history. Just look at this. So many of DC's beautiful historic homes, in places like Georgetown or DuPont Circle, they were built with galvanized steel or cast iron pipes. And these things, they corrode from the inside out over decades. Water flow gets choked off, and eventually they just fail. It's a totally different world from modern copper or PEX pipes, which fight off corrosion and are way more flexible. The third bad guy here is the weather. DC gets these really intense freeze-thaw cycles every winter. Just think about it. Water inside a pipe freezes. It expands. Then it thaws and contracts, back and forth, back and forth. All that movement weakens the joints and the fittings, which is why bursting pipes are such a common emergency around here. And finally, our fourth culprit, the city's own aging water mains. These huge public pipes can cause some serious pressure swings. Your home's plumbing is designed for a certain amount of pressure, right? But these mains can send water blasting through at over 80 psi. That puts a massive strain on the pipes inside your house and causes them to fail way sooner than they should. So yeah, the very system delivering your water can also be destroying your pipes. Okay, so we've got this epic war happening underground, but how does that actually affect you, the average person? Let's bring it back up to the surface and look at the warning signs you might actually see in your own home. I mean, how do things like shifting clay soil and old city pipes turn into everyday annoyances or even potential disasters? Well, the signs are usually pretty subtle at first, but they all point back to these bigger underlying issues. Does any of this sound familiar? Ever heard a weird gurgling sound from your toilet or notice strange smells coming out of the drain? Maybe your water pressure just isn't what it used to be. These aren't just little quirks, They are often the first symptoms of the exact problems we just talked about. Pipes rusting out, tree roots getting in, or leaks in the main line. And an unexplained spike in your water bill? That's another huge red flag. And this chart breaks down one of the most common headaches, clogged drains. Now sure, grease is a problem everywhere, but look at DC specifically. Tree roots invading those old clay pipes, a #1 cause. And right behind that is sediment from hard water mixing with rust from old galvanized pipes. You can literally see how the city's unique challenges lead directly to these common problems. So the problems are pretty significant. I get it. But the good news is that the technology we have to fight back has evolved like crazy. We're not just talking about wrenches and pipes anymore. This is about high-tech diagnosis and repair. The modern way of doing things is super methodical.
It all starts with a precise diagnosis. A lot of times, pros will send these tiny video cameras right down into the pipes to see exactly what's going on. Is it a root, a total collapse, just some corrosion? Only after they know for sure do they create a repair plan. And then they follow it up with serious testing to make sure the problem is actually solved for good.
Let's look at one piece of awesome tech. For clogs, you've got the traditional snake, or an auger. It works okay. But for the really tough blockages we see in DC, from roots and major buildup, hydrojetting is a total game changer. It uses an incredibly high-pressure jet of water to literally blast the inside of the pipes clean. It's a much, much more complete solution. And for the really catastrophic failures, the solutions are even more advanced. There are now trenchless repair methods that can fix a broken sewer line without having to dig up your entire yard. It's amazing. And for homes where the old pipes are just shot, a full repiping with modern stuff like copper or PEX is the ultimate fix. So we've seen the problem, and we've seen the solutions. But this brings us to a really crucial point. This isn't a problem you just solve one time and you're done. It is a constant, ongoing effort. This quote here really just nails it. You can't just fix the plumbing for an entire city and then, walk away. The ground is going to keep shifting, the weather's going to keep changing, and old pipes will always keep aging. The real work is this constant cycle of maintenance, of adapting to new challenges, and trying to prevent small issues before they become citywide emergencies.
At the end of the day, this quiet, often thankless work is absolutely essential. It's the invisible foundation that lets millions of people live and work together without even thinking about it. Every time you turn on a tap, flush a toilet, or have a dry basement during a huge storm, it's because this hidden battle is being fought and won day after day.
And that kind of leaves us with one last thought. We've focused a lot on DC's very unique set of challenges. But you know what? Every city has its own secret infrastructure story. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? What invisible systems, what hidden battles are being fought right now, just a few feet beneath your feet?